Hello, everybody. Hopefully, just checking levels. Yes, okay, I think we're going out now. Hey, everyone. You're
We're
just in
back.
time for mod qualifying for round, Heat 2.
Heat 3,
so
top heat of...
top heat, yes, I know. I'm all still confused. Yes. So, we had a power cut. Track had a power cut, and it was between races, so... but we had internet issues after that. But we're back. Thank you very much to James out in California, where they're streaming the H2GP this weekend. We'll talk about that more later. So we're back. I'm Frank. James is on the mic, and he will talk you through round 3. This is the fast guys.
So I think what we'll do, we'll get this modified out of the way, and then we'll bring you up to speed with what happened in stock after that, although as we go into the next round of stock. So we'll get this one out of the way. What are we looking for in stock? We have had Olle Payne winning the last round. We had Michael Orlowski winning the first 2. Alex Hagberg also looking fast. As you can see, Michael Orlowski off first, so he has the quickest time. Michael Orlowski going to lead away then with his, I believe he's running the plain white body shell. So it's kind of ebbing and flowing between him and Olle. So Michael leads away from Olle. Michael going to try and drop the hammer, escape at the start. Olle coming back at him a little bit towards the end of the run. Two rounds for Michael, 1 round for Olle. So far, Jan Rathajski having done the 3rd fastest time. It's going to be 3 from 6 to count, this round number 4. Orlowski currently leading this one by around, in fact, after 3 laps, we've got Olle Payne hits the front. So let's move our focus back 1 car onto the car of Olle Payne. Olle Payne, the white and red number 2 coloured car. He's on the main straight now. Chasing down the... Yeah, Olle Payne, that is Olle's car that we've got on shot. Trying to chase down the car of Michael Orlowski. I think a little bit confusing that Mark Reinhard's now running something that looks kind of quite similar in terms of design to Olle's car. Mistake from Orlowski, puts Olle to the front. So Orlowski parks his car in the barrier. Olle Payne hits the front on the track as well as on the clock. Mistake there for Olle as well off the end of the main straight. Jan Rathajski will be rubbing his hands together, not literally because he's holding a transmitter, but he'll be just trying to take advantage of that. Alex Hagberg up into 2nd place as well. Alex starting a little bit further down the field. Good round score from Alex last time. He had a 3rd in round. We are with Olle Payne, leader. Mark Reinhard also up there in the mix as well. Looking at projected times. In fact, what have we got? 46 lap runs coming together. Showing possibly a 47 for Mark Reinhard, who started towards the back of the field. Let's see if we can spot Mark. We haven't really focused on him this weekend. He is running his usual race paint, which is the white, pink and blue coloured car. He's down the main straight now. So we're running with Mark Reinhard. Car that's actually starting to look pretty decent. Just looking at Mark on the driver's roster and Chicken Wing not yet in attendance. But Reinhard moves to the front now. So Mark could be putting himself in the mix with this one. Looking pretty hooked up. Fires out on towards the main straight. That's Alessio Mazzio. Mark not really featured so far this weekend. but sitting at the front at the moment, predicting a 47.802. Ollie predicting a 47.806. So Mark heading for a time some 4 seconds faster than Ollie at the moment, expecting these times to drop off. Mark now heading towards the back of Alex Hagberg's car. So we'll start to see Alex's car just disappearing out the front of shot there. The familiar white and green scheme of Alex Hagberg, a pair of them. In fact, Alex has just gone past Marcus Mobers. So Marcus will have one eye on Mark Reinhard closing in behind him. Mark Reinhard leading this one, a little bit of a bobble there. Gets away with it. He's got a fair bit of time in his pocket. Just to see if he can hang this together for an entire 8-minute run. Looking pretty decent. He's starting to look a little bit scruffy. A few bobbles, slightly sideways off the end of the main straight. Remember, these are 6.5 turn powered cars rather than the 13.5 turn of the Spec class. Gap between the front three. Mark Reinhard now predicting for a 47-lap run, as is Alex Hagberg. And Olle Payne also in the mix with that as well. About 0.2 of a second currently between Mark Reinhard, who we are running with, and Olle Payne. Just seen actually, Ollie has let, who was that? That was Michael Orlowski. So Ollie's let a recovering Michael Orlowski back through to see if he can get a tow round. Still running with Mark Reinhard on stream at the moment. A little bit tight off the end of the main straight for Mark Reinhard. Just waiting for the timing to update as they cross the line one more time. Payne from Orlowski from Reinhard currently. Let's have a look. Reinhard back to the top. Reinhard currently a couple of seconds in front. Heading for a 47-lap run still. That might drop off to a 46. Looking at the rate, it is dropping off, but starting to come together for Mark. Chicken wing starting to come in attendance. His arm is lifting on the rostrum. Heading round towards the car of Rosario Guillermo. Catch and pass him for a lap. Not caught Alex Hagberg yet. Seems to have spent the entire run in his wheel tracks. Mark successfully navigates Rosario Guillermo. Still flowing nicely through the middle of the circuit. Car looking pretty smooth still, just over 1 minute left. Looking for timing to update. Remember, Mark started out quite late in this run. Mark now showing he is predicting 47.810. Just looking for the overall time, waiting for the updates. Michael Orlowski now looks like he's got himself to the front, has he? No, Mark Reinhard back to the top. Still 8:10.407. Going a little bit haywire because of where they started. We've got 20 seconds left. Mark Reinhard still running for the line. Doing what he can. Car still looks pretty hooked up, turning in nicely off the end of the main straight. This would be some kind of comeback if Mark can start moving himself up the order. Comes through, crosses the line. Let's see, has Mark Reinhard taken that? Mark Reinhard makes the extra lap as well. So one extra lap for Mark Reinhard onto the 47th lap. There you go. You saw the chicken wing in attendance on the rostrum. So that's a 47-lap run there for Mark Reinhard. At the end of that one, gets congratulations from Olle Payne Michael Orlowski, there we go, fist pump with Marcus Mobers. Jan Rathajski congratulates him, as does Alessio Mazzio. So Mark, well respected, and manages to do the quickest time. Now, we said we'd bring you up to speed with what happened in Spec. Olle Payne took Spec basically from Jan Rathajski, with Simon Lauter. A little bit of a mistake from Simon, put the car on its roof. So Olle took it. His time, though, was some 4 seconds slower than earlier on. So we've now got Simon with 2-round wins and the quickest time still. Olle has got 2-round wins. Olle's got second in rounds as well. So when Simon's won, Olle's finished second. Simon has been finishing at third when Olle has been winning the round. So it's a little bit of a mix-up going on. Both of them have got better. They've both got different things in terms of a tiebreak. Olle's got better drop scores currently, and Simon has got quicker times. So we'll try and catch Mark Reinhard after this one, see if we can get him over for a little bit of a chat whilst he's out there marshalling, or once he's done marshalling. Heat number 1 of round number 4 of Spec coming now. So Calarese leads off. Rene Tra says, good job, Mark. Yep, that was a fantastic job from Mark. Let's just have a look, see what it's done to the overall ranking list for modified. Okay, so Mark has... in fact, that's not updated yet. Okay, just waiting for an update on that. So Mark's going to come over and have a chat with us after this run. Just having a look, see if we can get an update about what it's done to the overall positions. There we go. There's an update. So Michael Orlowski still looking good in modified with 2 zeros. And a third, Olle Payne with 0 and 2 2s. Alex Hagberg in there currently. Jan Rathajski, Mark Reinhard currently sitting in 5th position with a 0, a 6 and an 8. So he'll be looking to bump himself up the field a little bit, possibly later on. Out in front of this one, we've got Mario Neri. Let's see if we can spot him. Mario is I believe the orange-coloured car with yellow wheels. Down the end of the main straight, there we go. This is Mario Neri leading this one. Slightly reduced numbers. Alessandro Calarese running second. Gianluca Lino running in 3rd position. Freddie Parker running in 4th. So just wanting to make his way past the traffic nice and gently is Mario. Mario Neri out onto the main straight. Makes a small mistake off the end of the main straight. See if that drops him down the field a little bit. It has done. It's promoted Alessandro Calarese with the number 4 car to the front. Let's see if we can spot the 4 car out there somewhere. He's on the main straight now, I believe. That is the, well, it's sort of multicoloured really. There we go. That's the number 4 car on screen. Bounces the car over the curbs, down the main straight, across the, looks like rumble strip. Certainly keep some of the drivers awake at night. Down the main straight once more. Just trying to get the turn-in point off the end of the main straight nailed. Flicks it through down the chicane, series of chicanes under the driver's rostrum, around the carousel, through the fast right-left chicane, out onto the main straight once more. Our lead car, then car number 4 of Alessandro Calarese, heading for a 40-lap run. 2 drivers down for 40-lap runs at the moment. Alessandro Calarese down for a 40 in 8:04. Gianluca Lino heading for, in fact, he's dropped off to a 39 in 8:05. Freddie Parker has got himself up into 3rd position in the heat. Let's see if we can pick up Freddie out there. He is a yellow, white and yellow coloured car. So he's just about to head out on to the main straight now. There we go. This is Freddie Parker running in 3rd position. So just trying to carve his way through some traffic. You can see his brother Lewis Parker stood at the side of the track. So a bit of an mistake there from Freddie. Ends up sliding across, getting caught and tangled with many, many cars. But back on his wheels, back circulating again. He just popped up into 2nd place as well in the heat after a bit of an issue for Mario Neri. That's put Gianluca Lino back into 2nd position. Let's see if we can find him with the number 3 car. Where's Gianluca Lino? That's the 7 car, the 1 car. 3 car is by process of elimination. One of the white cars. There we go. We've got him on screen now. Gianluca Lino. All kinds of wrong coming out onto the main straight. Just holding it together through the middle of the circuit. Off down the main straight once more. Gianluca Lino running in 2nd position in this one. He is about 4 seconds off the back of Alessandro Calarese. None of them now heading for a 40-lap run like they were earlier, getting to the last 2 minutes. Pace just dropping out of the cars very slightly. What are we doing in terms of lap times? They're lapping... Gianluca Lino, who we're running with, did a 12.6 last time round. His fastest lap, an 11.8. So missing about 8 tenths compared to his best lap. One minute 40 left to go. Alessandro Calarese still leading this one. Last lap time was pretty slow though. That was a 12.9 compared to a 12.2 for the car we're running with. So Gianluca Lino, he looks like he might well pop out in 2nd or 3rd position overall. Currently running in 3rd position. Just going to try and jump up in front of Calarese. In fact, he's now hit the front. So this is the lead car we're now running with. Though makes a little bit of an error in the middle of the circuit. I think that's a different white car that we've managed to pick up, is it? Let's just double check. Let's see if we can find the 4 car of Calarese again, with 30 seconds left to go. So they're down the main straight now. This the lead battle. The 4 car is the lead one of those cars. Just gets turned round, backs out of it, and gets completely wrong-footed. So that's going to be a slow split lap for him, and I think that might actually give Freddie Parker the win overall. That little bit of coming together. So Freddie Parker takes that right at the end. So that's Freddie's car buried nose deep into another car. I think we're just going to get Mark over so that we can have a chat with him about his modified result. He's just been caught by Morgan, but just having a quick chat, quick debrief with Morgan Williams. But we'll grab Mark over here for a chat any second now.
Thompson, Payne, Loss, Jensen.
Okay, with Mark Reinhard. Mark, where did that come from?
Good question. It actually feels the same as last year in England. For some reason my car didn't work in the beginning, so we didn't know what to do, and now it was the same thing again. I saw something on the car which didn't look right, but we couldn't find the mistake, so I just said, come on, who cares, just use the second car which Max prepared as well before the event. So it's like, that's the only chance we have. I need a car which is at least drivable, because before I couldn't drive at all. It was just like on power, left, right, it went everywhere in the wall. It was just like a dangerous car on the track for all the others. So yeah, we didn't use the car before, we just put it on the track, and it took me a while to get used to it in the beginning, but then I could see I could get more into my rhythm and push it a bit harder. Yeah, and I'm happy that we at least found the problem, like changing the car to get it better now.
Okay, so do you think you can sort of push forward from there? Do you think you can get yourself in the mix for the title?
Yeah, let's say the race starts from now on for me. I have a TQ of 6 and 8 or something, so at least I'm in the main. But yeah, I'm confident now. I know the car works. It was not slow at all, so I just try to push a little bit more and see where the limit is on the car. We didn't adjust any setups on the car, so maybe I just keep it the same, because the track is pretty bumpy, so we have no idea what to do. It's just like kind of keeping the car on the track, trying to get the bumps right, and yeah, don't crash.
Nice feeling to get the extra lap as well at the end?
Yeah, definitely. But I think they also did it yesterday, huh? I don't know if they did an extra lap already. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think they might have just snuck across, but still good to have that extra pace in your pocket.
Yeah, definitely. But now we're going to check the car again, check everything's right, and try to make it better, and hopefully we can fight again for the top 3 spots.
Okay, well, good luck. Hope we speak to you again later.
Thank you.
Mark Reinhard there then with a bit of a debrief after a bit of a save coming on. Back with the track action. What have we got? We have got heat number 2 running at the moment. Tim Pansters leading this one away from the start. Let's see if we can find Tim. Tim is, I believe that's the car we have in shot, the sort of spearminty green coloured car with yellow tyres. It is. Tim Pansters leading this one from Alex Saiter. Alex with the 5 car out there. Closing in on the back of Mark Payne is Tim Pansters. To come out onto the main straight once more. So Mark driving quite a wide car there in front of Tim Pansters. Tim looking a little bit frustrated, trying to find his way past. Mark just doing his own thing, doing his own run. Trying to edge away. Tim's made a small mistake, but driven back up to him. So Mark Payne cedes and gets out of the way of Tim Pansters. So now starting to hit traffic for Tim. He'll just want a nice clean run through this. Hope they spot him. It's the 2 car that he's following of Tom Adams. Doesn't quite negotiate him. There's another green and white car in front of him. Gets balked again. So it's not really fallen very well for Tim Pansters. that bit of traffic in front of him. I think that's actually put Alex Saiter to the front with the number 5 car. It has, by about half a second. Let's see if we can find the 5 car out there. He is one of the 3 white and green car that's just been punted backwards into the scenery by another white and green car. So he's currently prone against the barrier in the middle of the circuit at the moment. That's going to put Andy Thompson somewhere near the front. Let's see if we can find Andy Thompson. His car should be easier to spot. It is a yellow front, white centre, like burgundy rear. Andy Thompson currently running in 2nd position at the moment to Tim Pansters. Let's run with him for a little bit. Down the main straight, oscillating over the bumps. Andy looks a little bit hesitant to crank the car in off the end of the main straight. Just wanting to build together, good run. Looks like coming out onto the straight. He's holding a very tight line. Scrubbing off a little bit of speed maybe. Tim Pansters right behind him on circuit. Just heard Mark Payne be called in for a stop-go penalty by the looks of things. I think that might have been for the slight coming together earlier with Tim Janssen. We're running with Andy Thompson at the moment. He's just got a nice clear track in front of him. He's got a marauding Mark Payne behind him, who is driving slightly angry and embittered by the looks of things. Mark's car looking quite tense, quite angry. But, Andy now closing in on a recovering, just trying to see whose car that is directly in front of him. That's the 2 car of Tom Adams. So that's the 3rd place man, and he doing well then to drive up towards the back of him. And his car looking pretty decent. He's starting to get a bit of a handle on how the car runs, rides the bumps, off the end of the main straight looking smoother. Car's looking noticeably less sideways, a lot less... lot fewer issues for the drivers. They're starting to get a handle on what they need to do to stop pitching the car in and get a more consistent car over an 8-minute run. Catching traffic again. What have we got? 1.5 minutes left. Catching one of the green and white cars. There's a few green and white cars in this heat, which is odd because it's a bit of a strange colour to paint your car, really. Sort of. It's quite odd that all 3 of them have ended up together. Let's move back to Tim Pansters with the 6 car. He is the minty green car with the yellow wheels. Last of the cars on the main straight now. So less than a minute to go for Tim. He is over a lap up on Andy Thompson. I saw the times were pretty close, and then I looked at the number before them. Just heading in towards the angry-looking car of Mark Payne now, and it'll be even angrier after that one. with a launch over the barriers just in front of the car we're following with 10 seconds to go. Tim Pansters. Andy Thompson looking like he's going to run in second position. Tim Pansters taking that one then from Andy Thompson. Just over a lap down the road. Tim Pansters from Andy Thompson, Tim Janssen, Tom Adams. Coming up next then, we've got Christian Gear, Lucas Larsen, Werner Spanbruckner, Lucas Neiderer, Jan Dietmar, Dan Bancroft, Ole Thomas Bryn, Jody Sherritt and Nigel Bowen. Welcome to you if you are just joining us. We're building towards the sharp end of qualifying round number 5. This is heat 3 of 5. You're joining us here on RCTV from the Paradise RC Arena in Messina. It's the northeast coast of Sicily. Thank you to our event sponsors, ToniSport, Schumacher, Lens, Zen Racing, RCXX Shop, Montec and Hobby Wing for helping us to bring you this coverage. Christian Gear going to lead this one away. Christian, quite a distinctive colour scheme on his body shell. It's like a white, yellow and sky blue coloured car. We'll run with him at the start, and Werner Spanbruckner has been pushing him quite hard. Lucas Larsen having done a fairly fast time, but not quite as quick as Werner. In fact, Lucas Larsen just fires it off of the barrier in front of us. Mark Payne does a Mexican hat dance around the prone car on the track. Gets it successfully marshalled out the way. Christian Gear then heading already towards the car that started off second to him, this Lucas Larsen. So 2 seconds between the front two at the start, Christian Gear and Werner Spanbruckner. Werner looks like he's possibly got that gap under 2 seconds now. And indeed he has, so Werner is leading this one. Werner is the yellow front, white rear car off the end of the main straight. Let's just move back one car, there we go, that is Werner. Werner running in front of Christian Gear on the split. They started out 2 seconds apart. Werner is less than 2 seconds behind Christian at the moment. That's why we're saying he's in front. There's about the length of the main straight between them. So you see Christian move to the top and then Werner, and in fact there's absolutely nothing in it. There is 1/100th of a second in between the two of them that time round. Christian got nice clear track in front of him. Werner's got lovely clear track in front of him. I think Christian has actually pulled away very slightly on that lap, and he has. So Christian leading by about 0.6 of a second now. He's managed to drop the hammer. Now he's clear of traffic. Down the main straight for Werner Spanbruckner. Comment from Ben Clark, not being biased, but the cameraman is great. coincidentally, the cameraman might also be called Ben Clark as well. We've got a doppelganger out there, obviously.
That's funny because, you know, he's clearly wrong. I'm the best cameraman.
You're both better camera twiddlers than I am. Werner Spanbruckner leading this one.
I believe he's now Austrian properly instead of Australian. I didn't check, but I did correct the timing. That did pop up in the comments yesterday and earlier today.
He is showing his AUT rather than AUS.
Yeah.
So,
okay, good.
I mean, it's well, I mean, it's technically possible. I mean, it's we have had people from outside of Europe entering.
Yeah, Callan Gunn is the most popular one because he comes to the large-scale off-road. Ben actually met him in Czech Republic last year. Yeah. I doubt he's listening, but hi, Callan, if you are. Hope recovery is going well, and hope we see you later in the year.
Christian Gears got himself back out in front of this one with 4 minutes remaining. Dan Bancroft's managed to camouflage himself against his plain white body shell against the Paradise RC Arena backdrop as he landed on it. There's cars starting to fire themselves off the track. Let's see if we can pick up the lead car of Christian Gear. He is the white front, yellow centre, sky blue rear. We've got him again on screen.
It's an adequate job, Ben.
It is. Called him up nicely. He's starting to recognise names.
You tend to get there, so and you tend to know the top color schemes of the main protagonists in each of the qualifying heats, and then they all get jumbled around in the finals.
In the finals, just to screw with you a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we've seen quite a few plain coloured body shells that have turned into race paint as the weekend has gone on.
Yeah, Reinhard was using pink, and then he used his race scheme, and then he's back to pink.
Well, he just used his race paint then in that one.
Did he? Okay.
He used his race paint there, and that
I
was actually.
I was slightly distracted by recovering.
That was actually a fresh car that he he put down. There was some unidentified gremlin, so put down a car that Max Mackler had built for him.
Is it possibly your car?
No, that's not my car. My car's being driven by another Mark. My car's being driven by Mark Stiles, the car that I built as a sort of emergency spare.
Yeah.
So Mark was struggling a bit yesterday, but he's just done a fifth-in round. So he's starting to get there. He'll try and nail himself into the A final and potentially not drive us off the cliff on the way back to the hotel or into Mount Etna. That was a distinct possibility yesterday. I think it wasn't going that well for him. But Christian Gear, it's going pretty well for him. Leading out in front. Just out onto the main straight. That's a wide line there onto the main straight. I think it's one of those things, if you've made a mistake, you kind of just want to, you kind of just have to live with it. You're not going to get that time back. So you just accept the running slightly wide and do what you can to lose as least time as you possibly can. Christian Gear now a fair chunk ahead of Werner Spanbruckner. Although, in fact, that's coming down. Forecast time is only just over a second difference between them, with 1 minute left to go. So Christian needs to kind of keep this one circulating. Could do with catching and passing that traffic in front of him. Werner isn't going to get to them with 40 seconds remaining. Of course, they're obliged to get out of the way. And that's going to cost him a little bit. So that 1 second advantage that he's got is going to be eaten up slightly. This could condense a little bit at the end with Werner Spanbruckner. What was he, 8/10 back that time round? It's now just over 6/10 as they enter the last lap. It's not that comfortable for Christian Gear. It's closer than he'd like. Oh, that wasn't a very clean end of the lap. Let's just see what Werner does as he crosses the line. Does Werner just take that at the end? No, Werner doesn't get that in the end. Werner misses out by, it was like 1.1 seconds at the end.
Werner's the big chap there.
So, Jody having a bit of a chat there on the rostrum. Jody having a bit of a heated conversation with Javier. So Jody picking up his car there and stalking off.
Not sure what happened there, to be honest.
I'm not sure exactly. I didn't see far enough. I couldn't hear exactly what was going on, but something displeasing Jody. He's not had the smoothest weekend, has Jody. Here we go, got some guys looking to cement places in the A final in this one. Stefan Schultz, Michael Bolt, Marcus Andreasen, Niels de Greiser, Andreas Bryn, Alexander Anderson, Stefan Huyss, Stuart Cartwright, Mark Jordan. So just joining us here on our RCTV coverage from the 1/12 Spec Euros in Messina in Sicily. Thank you to the event sponsors ToniSport, Schumacher, Lens Bodies, Zen Racing, RCXX Shop, Montec and Hobbywing for helping to bring this coverage. Stefan Schultz leading away. Looks like a different colour body shell for Stefan. It's a sort of weird kind of pinky colour. But, rather than his usual race paint. Just trying to see if I can spot what's different about the body shell. It's a quick opening lap anyway. It looks like, I'm not sure if that's a BA010 body shell. Something looks different about it. It's a little bit difficult to tell at the moment. It's a lower, flatter body shell than he was running. I think he was running an M20 before, so he's it's a less aggressive body shell. Perhaps he's just looking to hang on to the pace, a little bit more understeer on his car, certainly. Still leading the heat, though, is Stefan. Marcus Andreasen second. In fact, Michael Bolt's got himself up into second place now. So let's see if we can move back and pick up Michael Bolt, the orange front, blue rear. Michael's car definitely not looking very safe off the end of the main straight as he backs it in. So trying to deal with a car that's not particularly compliant. He's somehow extracting a lap time out of it. Stefan Schultz leading this one by about 0.6 of a second from the car that we're following of Michael Bolt. Stefan mired in traffic at the moment. Michael Bolt, we're running with in second position. Started out 1 second behind Stefan Schultz. Stefan just circulating through traffic at the minute. In fact, Marcus Andreasen's got himself up into second position. He's running the 8 car. Let's see if we can find him. I think he is the orange, mainly orange car with a white stripe down the centre. He's last car on the main straight now. So this is car number 8 of our second place man, Marcus Andreasen. And Michael Bolt just skids out of shot, lands at Jody Schechter's feet.
Jody Schechter.
Jody Sherritt. Jody Schechter? Jody Schechter. Yeah. They've become interchangeable.
I'm going to start charging you.
So they've kind of become interchangeable over the course of the weekend. It's an easy, it's an easy change to make, easy mistake to make. Stefan Schultz leading then from the car that we are following at the moment of Marcus Andreasen. Just keeping an eye on where they are relative to one another on track. Stefan's got a nice clear track in front of him. Marcus is just closing in on this gaggle of cars in front of him. So it's the 6 car first of Stefan Huyss that he needs to negotiate. So he picks his way past Stefan and Stu Cartwright coming next. So let's stick with him as he navigates his way through this traffic. So this really not falling nicely at all for Marcus Andreasen. Michael Bolt charging hard from that mistake, trying to join himself into that group. So, that worked quite nicely actually for, I think that was Andreas Bryn made a bit of a mistake there in front of Marcus Andreasen. So Stu Cartwright now. We're looking to get past. Stu jumps out of the way very nicely. Stefan Schultz, meanwhile, has used that to his advantage and pulled out some 3 seconds down the road. Marcus Andreasen in second position. Let's see if we can pick up Stefan Schultz again, our leader. He's just coming onto the main straight now. Passes the prone car of Michael Bolt. Michael Bolt on his roof again. So not coming together for Michael particularly well this run. He's promoted Stu Cartwright up into third position. Running with Stefan Schultz at the moment. He's already had a couple of 5th places in round. So he'll be looking to cement his place in the A final. So Schultz from Andreasen from Cartwright. Good run coming together for Stu. Two minutes left. Everybody just going to be trying to keep it calm. You've already got this far into the run. Don't want to throw it off at this point. Run's already gone to pieces for some drivers. Closing in on Mark Jordan was the leader there of Stefan Schultz. Caught past him quite nicely. So we're running with Stefan Schultz at the moment as he closes in on the rear of Stu Cartwright. A little bit of unintended flying over some of the curbs in the chicane. Stefan closes in on the back of Stu, carries a lot of speed through the chicane there. Got a relatively slow car of Niels de Greiser in front of the pair of them. So Stefan trying to find his way past Stu Cartwright into the last minute. Stu on a good run himself, currently in 4th position in the heat, but gets out of the way, cedes position to Stefan. We'll try and pick up a toe now. Stefan pushing to get himself up and in front of Niels de Gruyter. 30 seconds left. It's not fallen that well for Stefan right at the end of this one. We'll see what we can do. What do we got? 20 seconds left to go. Stefan Schultz leading from Marcus Andreasen, leading from Stuart Cartwright. Michael Boltz just popped himself back up there in 3rd position. Stu Cartwright back to 3rd position. Mark Jordan ends up on his roof, right at the death. So Stu Cartwright does make the extra lap as well onto the 42nd lap there. Stefan Schultz gets that then from Marcus Andreasen and Stu Cartwright in 3rd position. They just head down off the driver's rostrum. Stefan Schultz going to be happy with that one. A quick 43 lap run. Top heat of Spec getting set to go. Welcome to you if you are just joining us here on RCTV. Bringing you this coverage of the EFRA 112th Euros for 2024 in conjunction with our event sponsors ToniSport, Schumacher, Lens Bodies, Zen Racing, RCXX Shop, Montec and Hobbywing. Drivers finding their way out on the circuit. So we have Olle Payne with 2 round wins, Simon Lauter with 2 round wins, Simon with the quickest time so far. Guys looking to lock themselves into the A final. Olle Payne looking quick at the start. Simon Lauter looking quicker towards the end of the run. Olle Payne leads off from Simon Lauter. These two looking a step ahead of the rest of the field. Over the course of this weekend. See if Simon can run with Olle. So if one of them takes this round, they are locked in for the front row. 2 round wins each. So they would be then the only drivers that could deny the other TQ. Olle Payne into an early lead from Simon Lauter. Let's have a look at the gap between them. Some 0.6 of a second at the moment to the good for Olle. We saw this earlier though. We had Olle had about 1.8 seconds in his pocket, and Simon then just started to chip away at it. So Olle just needs to hang on the pace. Olle heading towards Finley Whitelock, who collects the barrier in the middle of the track, parks it in the middle of the track, stays nicely out of Simon Lauter's way as well. Olle now heading towards his teammate and good friend Morgan Williams. So Olle successfully negotiates Morgan. Olle from Simon, from Jan Rathajski, Lewis Parker running in 4th position. Max Mackler's popped himself up into 4th. That was a bit of a mistake there for Mark Stiles, and we got, I think Ollie got caught up in that. That's going to let Simon close in a little bit on him. Retirement for Max Mackler, or was that just a body tuck? So let's move our focus back and pick up Simon. He's circulating behind Mark Stiles, so he's the last of the cars just on the main straight now. See if Simon can do anything about chasing down Olle Payne. They started out 1 second apart. Mark gets out of Simon's way. Got Morgan coming up next. Morgan very nicely gets out of Simon's way. So now no cars between them. We'll see what the gap is this time round. It's Ollie currently heading for a new, in fact, Ollie predicting a 45 lap run currently. So starting to find a bit more pace in the circuit. No one's managed a 45 lap run here. Okay, let's pick up the car of Simon Lauter. He's just coming past race control now. He's the number 2 car. There we go. And small mistake there from Simon, actually. Drops him back behind Max Mackler, who jumps on the brake so as not to impede his run. I think then that's going to put Ollie in a pretty messy, pretty good position, sorry. That small mistake from Simon. Let's pick up Ollie, the number 1 car. He's just under the driver's rostrum now, through the carousel. Looking pretty good for Ollie. If he can take this, then that's going to be 3 round wins. He'll guarantee himself a spot on the front row. And if he can do a new faster time, what's he got? A 44.803. Let's just have a look and see what Simon's time was earlier. Simon's best time was a 44 in 803.8. So probably at this stage, actually, Simon is looking to maintain his hold on the fastest time. This could end up being very, very close. We're still with Olle Payne. Predicted time 44.803.6, but with 3 minutes left, I think that pace is going to drop off slightly. So essentially it would come down to a last round shootout then between Ollie and Simon Lauter. If Ollie continues with this, Ollie would be guaranteed first or second on the grid. He would have the 3 0 scores in the bag. So no one could beat that score. The only person that would be able to match it would be Simon Lauter. But Simon would need to win the last round. And then Simon has this faster time in his pocket because Ollie's time now predicted a 44.804. So has dropped off. The pace seemingly having gone out of the track compared to earlier on. Still with Olle Payne as he catches the battling Lewis Parker and Christian Donath. And Lewis sees the danger coming, dives out the way. Finley Whitelock gets out of the way of everybody. So it's just Christian Donath now in front of Olle Payne. Christian gets out of his way onto the main straight. Olle Payne now heading up towards the rear of Mark Stiles once more. Mark currently running in 6th position in this heat. He's looking to lock himself into the final. He could do with dropping his sort of 12th place from one of his rounds. Put in 3 sort of comfortable top 10s. So Mark in front of Ollie at the moment. Needing him to open up. Ollie not quite close enough. See if it comes on. Spin there, half spin from Ollie. Behind Mark. That drops him back behind Lewis. What's that done in terms of Simon? That's definitely going to drop Ollie off the pace in terms of a quick run. How close is that going to let Simon get? Simon's pace improving. That was a 12.4 last time round from Ollie and 11.0 from Simon. Ollie back on it now. Let's just have a look. Still 3 seconds between them. So Ollie kind of getting away with that. Lewis Parker gets out of his way again. So 20 seconds left. I don't think Ollie's going to catch Christian Donath. Max Mackler on his roof again. Gets recovered to the tail of that field. 15 seconds left. You can just see in front of Ollie, Christian Donath and Mark Stiles down the main straight once more. Mark crosses the line. Remembers to carry on. And actually finish. So Olle Payne taking that round from Simon Lauter. Olle Payne taking that from Simon Lauter. So Ollie is definitely on the front row. Ollie has now 3 round wins, 3 zeros. He will be second at worst. So Ollie having a bit of a discussion with Mark as they come off the rostrum. A bit of a, what was that, I think. Mark probably balked him very slightly. So there we go, 3 round wins for Ollie. Where are we looking at overall in round scores? Who have we got? Morgan Williams, currently unlucky BQ at the minute. Finley Whitelock also with a couple of good scores, but needs one more to try and bump himself up there. There's going to be some quick guys missing out at the front of the B final. You can see just out the corner of my eye some gesticulation going on from Ollie. He's clearly not happy. LC Racing class just going out, so we'll lock the camera off. And we'll be back for the modified heat. So back in around 10 minutes.
positioning after 2 minutes. Car 4 position 1. Car 7 position 2. Car 8 position 3. Car 1 position 4. Car 5 position 5. Car 6 position 6.
Yeah, looks like it. Wow. On the roster. And that's heavy. Yeah, that's what I think. It's like, yeah. Imagine 10 of them.
Andiamo giustamente. Marcia number 6.
1 minute to drive.
Marcia number 6.
1 minute.
Raccoglitore,
Car
Marcia.
7 position 1. Car 4 position 2. Car 5 position 3. Car 1 position 4. Car 8 position 5. Car 6 position 6. Car 3 position 7. Stop 1. Stop 4. Stop 8. Stop 6. Stop 7.
Looked like you fell asleep a couple of times out there on the Looked like it.
Ok, piloti rientrare, portare le macchine alle verifiche.
There's nothing more I can do anyway, so I can just hope. And there will be something in the mains. It's no chance that this is going to be...
Franco.
Ollie's got 3 Simon's got, I don't think the time's on the track. I think the track's laid up, so Simon's got the time. So basically Simon knows that last.
Yeah.
1 minute to start. Start order Shepis Daniel. EC4 Pietro. Naveri Alessio. Martinez. Naveri Marco. Mascalino Luca. Conis Carmelo. Pedalo. Jerry Antonio.
A bit sorry for Finley, why he's been good, but he's spitting it off the
Is this the orange guy?
Forza piloti, fate un giro e allineatevi sul rettilineo.
Not that sorry.
As long as he's not an idiot like the Parker guy, it's fine.
Piloti, mi raccomando. Chi ha appena finito di
10,
correre al recupero
9, 8,
ghiaccio
7, 6, 5,
Just going to catch up with Olle Payne then. Olle, well done. You took that 5th round of qualifying.
Yes, yeah. Much better that round. It seems to get better every run. Just it's all a consistency thing. Car always starts well. It's just trying to make it last 8 minutes.
Just see you had a little bit of difficulty with traffic coming past Mark there.
Yeah, a little bit of difficulty, but I had a big enough gap that it wasn't a problem. But I was stressing a little bit because every other run I've been, quite far ahead, and then I've lost it in the last sort of minute or so. So I wasn't too sure if I was going to be okay or not, but it seemed to be better that run.
Well, I think Simon made a mistake as well behind you, which dropped you off. But what's the pace like in the track? Because now you've got 3-round wins, so you're definitely on the front row. Simon's the only person that can deny you. But it looks like the time that he did earlier, it doesn't look like that's coming, by halfway through the run, you're already off that pace.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to beat that because the track now, it seems easy to do like a fast lap time, but it doesn't, it's changing a lot throughout the run. So I think it's going to be tough to beat that time. I think I would have been maybe close without any mistakes, but to beat it, it's, I think, yeah, too late now, I think, maybe.
Okay, so basically you just effectively focused on Simon for that last run. If you're in front of him, then you're on pole.
Whatever happens, it's beat him and then it's on pole. I don't think I'm not too focused on time or anything like that. It's just the main focus is to beat him.
Yeah, okay. Well, obviously that was pretty good. And mod's going okay for you as well?
Yeah, it seems to be getting better every run. I was quite surprised. I didn't expect Mark to be where he was that last run. Because of the splits and the way everything was being called, I thought I was in the lead, and when I looked up at the board at 7 minutes, I was sort of leading, so I was like, okay. And but it was before he crossed the loop, so I didn't see him, so I kind of, didn't think about him so much, which was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, try and just race it a bit harder the next one.
Okay, well, good luck. Obviously, you're on the front row for stock, regardless, and it's a good shout with pole position. You've got the 3-0s, so you can only be matched now with that. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully it continues to go well for you, and we'll be chatting with you later on.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, there we go then. Olle Payne, our front row man, definitely. He's taken 3-round wins in stock.
Car 2, position 2. Car 5, position 3. Car 3, position 4. Car 8, position 5. Car 7, position 6. Car 9, position 7. Car 6, position 8. Car 4, position 9. Minute to drive. Positioning after 4 minutes. Car 1, position 1. Car 3, position 2. Car 2, position 3. Car 8, position 4. Car 5, position 5. Car 6, position 6. Car 7, position 7. Car 9, position 8. Car 4, position 9. Stop 1. Stop 2. Stop 3. Stop 6. Stop 5. Stop 7.
Ok. Manca solo Moscovino. Solo Moscovino che si è
Okay, so we're back then for the run home in modified. We've got 3 heats of mod coming up. Just going to keep the camera locked off for a little bit longer. We'll be back up there in time for the top heat, but we'll keep you up to speed with what is going on out on the circuit. And matching up with the timing. Welcome to you if you are just joining us here as we sort of run towards the end of Saturday here at the EFRA 112th Euros for 2024 from Messina on the northeast coast of Sicily. Obviously, thank you to our event sponsors, ToniSport, Schumacher, Lens Bodies, Zen Racing, RCXX Shop, Montec and Hobbywing for helping us to bring you this coverage. Guys from the first heat of the modified class getting set to get out on the track. Had a bit of a catch-up with Olle Payne just then on the stream. Olle locking himself into the front row. He's taken 3-round wins. Simon Lauter has taken the other 2-round wins. Simon's got the quick time at the moment. So as Olle was saying, it's all going to be down to this last run, really. Olle just needs to beat Simon in order to seal the TQ. He's definitely on the front row. No one can beat his 0-0-0. Can only be matched by Simon Lauter. Modified going out on the track. What have we seen in modified? We've seen Michael Olowski taking a couple of rounds, Olle Payne having taken a round, and Mark Reinhard giving, as Olle just described there, a little bit of a fright from the back of the field because Mark started out quite low down and yeah, managed to make his way forward, pump in a decent time. He hasn't got the fastest time. Michael Olowski's got the fastest time with a something like 0.3 of a second faster. Modified cars released out onto the track. Lucas Larsson has led away. We're just getting the camera in position. So you'll see the camera lift up in a moment, but this is the first heat of stock. Nicola Marone's got himself to the front of the field at the minute. Nicola, the all-white car, let's see if we can pick him up. There's 2 all-white cars out there. Nicola will be the one with the white wheels. He's just off the end of the main straight now. This Nicola Marone, Mr. Hot Race, Mr. Lens Bodies. Mark Chinery joining in on the stream, saying great coverage, thanks. It's our pleasure, Mark. We always enjoy bringing you this coverage. Some great events being hosted by EFRA. And we've got a long summer of various different EFRA championships being streamed live on RCTV. Nicola Maroni we're running with. Lucas Larsson is leading. Let's see if we can find Lucas Larsson. He is the 2 car. I think that's the all blue coloured car. There's 2 of them, but he's the second of the ones on the main straight now. That is the 2 car of Lucas Larsson. Let's run with him for a little bit. He's actually running in second position now to Nicola Moroni. Nicola just behind him on shot, actually. Nicola getting very, very close. Wanting a bit of a closer look at Lucas Larsson. Mario Neri running in third position in this heat. Going to build towards the top heat coming out in 2 heats' time. This is the first of 3. And just seen, actually, Nicola Moroni. He's off at the side of the track with Alex Hagberg kneeling down next to him with a driver in hand. Let's just see if we can pick that up as we come past. There we go. There's Alex feverishly working away on Nicola's car. Twiddling a driver in the middle of the car. Yeah, I wonder what he was doing there. He's making some sort of change to the car. We're back with the lead car of Lucas Larsson. Heads off down the main straight. So Nicola providing a little bit of a service for Alex. And now that Nicola's got some decent round scores in, Alex will be looking to... He was looking fairly good for a podium earlier on, but he'll be a little bit worried by what Mark Reinhard managed last time around, and managing to move himself forward, running a fresh car that Max Mackler had prepared for him. Mark, just something not quite right, never quite feeling in the car. Never quite feeling hooked up, so managed to change to fresh chassis, and all of a sudden came alive, started getting some feeling in the car, and going quite well. So thinks he's got something he can fight with now. As he said, his meeting starts now. Lucas Larsson halfway through the run, leading this one. Alessandro Bianchi running in second with the 4 car. Let's see if we can spot the 4 car out there. I think he might be the other sort of minty green coloured car. Let me just double check. It is. So Bianchi is 2 cars in front. There we go. That is the car that we're looking at. So car skipping, hopping around as he comes out onto the main straight. About to be caught by the leader, Lucas Larsson. Alessandro Bianchi, this car that we're running with down the main straight. Look, hopping, ducking, weaving, diving all over the place. Car trying to navigate, negotiate all of those bumps. Really ripply down there over the washboard section. And hops down the main straight once more. Tail end of the car flicked up. Trying to pop a wheelie there that was the car in front of Lucas Larsson with 2 minutes left to go. Any of you wondering why Stu Cartwright's name is on the screen but he's not running, he decided to give Modified a miss and withdraw from the class after yesterday. Going fairly well in stock and felt that 2 cars was a bit of a challenge too far for him. So really looking loose now off the end of the main straight for Alessandro Bianchi. Marco Maguni has got himself up into second with the 5 car. But what do we got? 1 minute 20 left. Let's pick up the leader, the blue coloured car with the black wheels on the main straight now. Let's just see him. He's under the driver's rostrum. This is Lucas Larsson for the final minute. Again, not very clean off the end of the main straight. Car just hopping about. Gets it back on his wheels. Does what he can do. .45 seconds left. Catching traffic that's weaving, ducking, diving, trying to find your way through that, as well as hanging on to a slightly wayward car yourself. Lucas Larsson expertly managing it, predicting a time of a 43-lap run in 8:09. So should just make it through for the 43-lap run. No one else heading for it. 42.806 for Marco McGuni is predicted. So last couple of seconds might be relatively tight on time. There we go, 43.809, pretty much as predicted. So that was modified qualifying round 5, heat number 1. That is done, that is complete. So penultimate heat coming up of modified. Got a few quick guys that are currently in the top 10 in this one. So primary amongst those will be Martin Huddy. He's currently sat in 7th overall with 4th in round, 6th in round, 7th in round. He's most likely suspect to make the A final from this next heat. Thomas Liptak is also just about hanging in there, in 10th at the moment, and Marcus Andreasen 11th currently. So in with a shot. Drivers taking part in this then: Martin Huddy, Thomas Liptak, Marcus Andreasen, Lewis Parker, Christian Donath, Alexander Anderson, Alessandro Brunelli and Rene Jan. Martin Huddy gonna lead us off on this one. Just a few warm-up laps going on. Drivers get to feel what they've got underneath them, especially those drivers that are running in 2 classes. Got Marcus Andreasen running both classes. Got Lewis Parker, Christian Donath, Alexander Anderson, both running in 2 classes. Possibly some names you'd expect to see in the top heat and right up there competing at the sharp end. Heading out onto the main straight. Martin Huddy going to lead away. Martin is an all-white car, the front of shot. So Martin Huddy leads away. Thomas Liptak right on the back of him, straight from the start as they cross the line. Timing line is just here on the exit of the chicane as you go past it there. Christian Donath also with a very, very hot opening lap. So just looking to settle down. Martin Huddy and Thomas Liptak, 2 Slovakian drivers, circulating together, working together. Mistake from Lewis Parker. And that's promoted Christian Donath up into 3rd position. That will shake out as they come across the line this time. Martin Huddy leading this one. Martin starting to settle in and edge away from Thomas Liptak at the rear of screen. Martin should already be in the A final, but see a little mistake behind him from Thomas Liptak. Drops him away. Christian Donath up into 3rd position. Martin starting to head in towards traffic already. There's a slightly wayward-looking car of Alessandro Brunelli that he is catching. So he passes him quite nicely, coming out onto the straight, tucks underneath him on the exit of the chicane. Martin Huddy predicting a time currently 46.807. So a couple of laps faster predicted for Martin Huddy than anybody else in the heat. 44 lap runs predicted for everyone else. Martin Huddy down the main straight. More traffic that he's closing in on. That's the 3 car of Rene Jan. He'll be catching and passing soon. So all of the traffic just filing out the way. So that's Rene Jan gets out of the way. It's a nice clear track now in front of Martin Huddy. Thomas Liptak giving chase behind, but gets balked very slightly. Makes his way past 2, 3. Thomas Liptak not a million miles away. It's just over the length of the straight. Of course, the length of the straight in modified is less than the length of the straight in stock class in real-time terms because the cars are travelling faster. So still with Martin Huddy as he comes out onto the main straight once more. That is the car of, just trying to spot the car that he's catching and passing. Doesn't really matter. Goes past him quite easily because he was backwards. Martin Huddy still leading this one pretty comfortably. Down to a 46 lap predicted run. Thomas Liptak is up to a 45 lap run. But Martin Huddy predicting to go over a lap quicker than Thomas Liptak in second place. Martin be thinking he probably should have made the top heat, but looks like he's going to lock himself into the A final quite comfortably with 1 round of qualifying remaining. Thomas Liptak running in second position. We're running with Martin Huddy though as he closes in on the back of Lewis Parker. Dives through on him. More traffic in front, passes car pointing backwards. The 6 car that was of Marcus Andreasen. So good run coming together for Martin Huddy. Traffic falling just nicely for him. He's got a decent gap now over Thomas Liptak. Thomas looking like he could run with him at the start, but Martin then just starting to grind away with his pace. Keep on pumping in consistent laps. Lap after lap after lap. Woof, off the end of the main straight. Someone backed off a little bit there and caught Lewis Parker by surprise. Martin Huddy, meanwhile, we are running with him as he cruises through the field. It's like he's driving down through downtown Beirut. Heading up to more traffic. Everybody just seemingly falling off the track in front of him. A little bit of a mistake there through the chicane off the end of the main straight. Bit of a bobble on the rear of the car. 2 minutes 30 left. Then we're in for the top heat of Spec. Top heat of Modified. Before we go back to Spec. More crash cars in front of Martin Huddy. As he flings the car through the chicane. Thomas Liptak still running second. Christian Donath still running in third position. Martin Huddy leading now, predicting a 45 lap run, so he's dropped off of the pace of that 46. Maybe not maintaining the speed in the car for the entire run. Doing what he can, doing what he needs to. Should still give him a good round score. It's been a pretty clean run. Catches and passes, that was Christian Donath that he's gone past, who is current third place man. One minute 20 remaining for Martin Huddy. Closing in on Lewis Parker next. Lewis's car starting to look a little bit sketchy, a little bit wayward towards the end of the run. Just see him out the front of shot. More speed carried there, and Lewis gets right out of the way of Martin Huddy. Lovely clear track in front of Martin now. That's the best feeling in the world. In fact, I think he's going to catch the car of Brunelli by the end. 45 seconds left. Just a little bit of hesitation in the chicane. Cars start to feel a little bit more lazy at this stage in the run. But does pass the car of Brunelli. Manages to haul it up at the end of the main straight. Martin Huddy then heading for another heat win and another decent round score with 20 seconds left. Martin Huddy out onto the main straight one more time, a little bit wide through that chicane. Crosses the line with a 45 in 8:03. Martin Huddy then taking that one. Everybody comes off the driver's rostrum. Top heat of modified. Getting set. See Michael Olowski heading up onto the driver's rostrum. There we go, there's the results of that one. Martin Huddy taking that one from Thomas Liptak with Christian Donath in third position. So permutations from this one, Michael Olowski with a couple of round wins, Olle Payne with a round win, Mark Reinhard with a round win. So Michael Olowski will be looking to seal the deal. If Michael takes this one, he will be guaranteed TQ because he will have 3 zeros, and the only drivers who would be able to get anywhere near him are Mark Reinhard, who could only get one more, and Olle Payne, who could only get one more after this one. So this could be a TQ sealer for Michael Olowski. Michael also having done the quickest time so far by about 3/10 from Mark Reinhard. Mark, though, having some strong pace in his car last time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 2, 3, 1, 5, 6, 9, 8.
Michael Olowski leads away then, his all-white car off down the main straight. We'll keep an eye on him, we'll keep an eye on Olle Payne, we'll keep an eye on where Mark Reinhard is as well in the overall timings. Remember, Mark came from quite a long way back. He still started out 5 seconds back. Did Mark Reinhard, Olle Payne with the hot opening lap. Just let everything settle down for a couple of laps. Michael Olowski being chased by Olle Payne. These two white cars, and in fact, Michael Olowski gets out of the way of Olle Payne. If we can move back a couple of cars. So we have Olle Payne backwards off the end of the main straight. Olle Payne leading from Olowski from Reinhard. And Alessio Mazzio pitches it backwards off the end of the main straight too. So Ollie now trying to chase down the car of Michael in front of him. Small bobble from Mark Reinhard out of the back of shot. Olle Payne from Alex Hagberg. Reinhard to the front though. Let's see if we can pick up Mark's car. Mark running his race paint out there. He is just at the top end of the circuit coming out onto the main straight now. So this the lead car of Mark Reinhard. Caught and past Rene Doctor. Jan Rathajski that he needs to catch and pass next. So car 5, position 1. Ollie and Michael are going to have a little bit of a shock at that. They've been pushing really hard at the front, and they'll be wondering exactly where Mark Reinhard's come from. They obviously know he's got some pace in the car. But, Mark makes a small mistake there as he was trying to get past the car of, I think that was Marcus Mobers. That's going to drop Mark very slightly off the pace at the front of that one. Let's see if he can recover it. Olle Payne now back to the front from Hagberg, from Jan Rathajski now in 3rd position. Let's just see, though, where we can end up. How costly was that mistake for Mark? He is circulating behind Rene Doctor. Rene gets out of the way, lets him go, so Mark fires off into that gap in front of him. Just seeing where the other drivers are on the circuit. Olle Payne still leading this one then. Let's see if we can pick up Ollie's car, the white and red coloured car. He is just heading out onto the main straight now. There's Ollie down the under the driver's rostrum through the carousel. Up through the chicanes at the top end of the circuit, out onto the main straight one more time. Olle Payne from Alex Hagberg, Jan Rathajski, Michael Orlowski. Remember, the only person that can TQ the meeting from this round would be Michael Orlowski. Anybody else, it goes into the final round of qualifying. Michael Orlowski with 2 round wins, Olle Payne with 1. Mark Reinhard with 1. Olle Payne predicting a 47.806 currently. Still running with Olle Payne as he closes in on the car of Rene Doctor. Backs the car in off the end of the main straight, flinging the car over the curbs. Alex Hagberg running in 2nd place, some 1.3 seconds off of Ollie currently. Ollie already locks himself into the front row in stock. Looking to do the same potentially in modified. No, he wouldn't lock himself into the front row because Mark Reinhard would also be able to match his score, where he would be matched with Michael Orlowski. But worst he would be is 3rd on the grid. Olle Payne then closing in on the car of Mark Reinhard. That'll be a nice feeling for him, knowing that Mark is a little bit out of the picture in this round. Slightly scruffy run from Mark. Mark currently running 6th place in this heat. Ollie still heading for that magical 47-lap run, as is Alex Hagberg at the moment. Just looking at overall times, Ollie the only one on the 47 now, with 2 minutes left. Let's stick with Ollie as he comes up to pass Mark Reinhard. So, can't get him out onto the main straight. Off the end of the circuit, Ollie just pushing on. Just trying to hang on to the rear of that car, trying to lean on it a little bit more. Mark Reinhard opens up, lets Ollie through. Just seeing where Michael Orlowski is lurking in the background. In fact, he's dropped behind Alex Hagberg on track as well. So Payne from Hagberg, from Orlowski. Jan Rathajski's up there, our top seed. Jan in 4th position currently. Olle Payne out in front. We're still running with his car. 1 minute left to go. Ollie looking to tie Michael Orlowski with 2 round wins each. And leave it all to play for going into the last round of qualifying. Predicted time now, 47.809. It was a pair of 47.810s that Orlowski and Reinhard did. Orlowski with a 8.10 flat and an 8.10.3 for Reinhard. Ollie currently predicting an 8.09.7 with 30 seconds left. But the pace dropping off now very, very slightly. Catching traffic as they come out onto the main straight. And, oh, it just gets tagged. Oh, turn around there. Oh, that was Marcus Mobers, I believe. Just turned Ollie round. That's going to drop him off the 47-lap pace. I think he'll probably have enough in his pocket to stay in front of Alex Hagberg, will he? No, Hagberg hits the front. So right at the end, Alex Hagberg takes the round. So Ollie, that was just as he came past Marcus Mobers. Ollie just, that was so unfortunate for Ollie, as you can see as he stalks down off the rostrum. I'm not sure if Alex knows actually that he's taken that right at the end, but yeah, that was so unfortunate for Ollie right at the death there. And, yeah, dejectedly puts his car into scrutineering. Matt Lack saying Ollie's making some interesting shapes on the straight. Yes, Matt. I think most of the cars are making interesting shapes on the straight. And Andy Murray having a bit of a discussion with Marcus Mobers there. Sort of wondering quite what was going on. Marcus got a little bit crossed up in the chicane, and Ollie couldn't do an awful lot. It's getting a little bit fraught at this point. Towards the tail end of that. So just having a bit of VAR going on. Right at the end of that. So into heat number 6 of, qualifying round number 6, final round of qualifying.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mario Neri leading this one away then. It's the 4 car. Let's have a look, see if we can find him, of Alessandro Calarese. Alessandro Calarese, the number 4 car. We've picked him up on stream. He is catching the car off Freddie Park. No, in fact, Freddie's pulling away. Calarese then running in second place to Freddie Parker. Let's pick up the car of Freddie Parker as he comes out onto the main straight. White front, yellow rear. Long, long day for Freddie. Freddie leads down the main straight. He's closing in on some traffic. So last round of qualifying now up and running. So hour and a half of track action. We've got 5 heats of Spec. Freddie still leading this one. He'll be seeing if he can bump his way out of this. This into the top, or move himself up into a better final. Freddie's car starting to look better and better and better. He's 2.2 seconds ahead of Calarese. And Freddie just negotiating his way past some traffic. Lewis Parker watching on. Good run coming together for Freddie. In fact, that's the one car of Francesco Salva. Just let him go. Just having a look at the overalls for modified. As we expected, what do we got? Michael Orlowski on 3 points. It's still all to play for going into the last round. Michael Orlowski with 2 zeros, Olle Payne with 1 0, Alex Hagberg with a 0, Mark Reinhard with a 0. So any one of those 4 drivers could TQ. Michael Orlowski currently got the fastest time. I think Michael Orlowski has got the fastest time out of those lot. I don't know what we had from Alex Hagberg. Did he do a 47? No, he didn't. He was a 46. Mark Reinhard had a 47 earlier, but it was some 0.3 slower, an 8:10.352. Olle Payne hasn't done a 47. He was on for it, but then lost out right at the end of that one, with that coming together with Marcus Mobers. So I think currently Orlowski's in the best position, but we've also got Olle Payne, Alex Hagberg, and Mark Reinhard that could get themselves in the mix with a faster time. They're going to need to do a faster time, basically, than Michael Orlowski. So Michael in the pound seats. I don't necessarily think the pace is going to be in the track to do what they managed. So I think Michael Orlowski looking pretty good for pole position at the moment. He's got the points in the bag, or hasn't got the points in the bag, as it were, with scoring zeros. And he's also got the fastest time by about 0.3 of a second from Mark Reinhard. So all to play for, though, in the last round of qualifying in modified. In Spec, it's a little bit more cut and dried. Olle Payne is definitely on the front row because he has got 3 round wins. Simon Lauter has taken the other 2 round wins. Simon's got the faster time. And having just a bit of a chat with Ollie, he doesn't think that they've got the pace in the car now to beat that time that Simon managed earlier. So effectively, it's kind of a little bit winner takes all. Between, if Simon wins, then Simon will be on pole position. Ollie is locked into the front row. He's got his 3 zeros. It can only be matched by Simon Lauter. But Simon has got the faster time in his pocket that Ollie doesn't think that they can get at now. So Ollie's going to be watching Simon like a hawk, focusing on his car and doing what he can to get round. Freddie Parker still leading this one. And quite comfortably, actually. We get Valentino Maglietti, how to KO 2 top drivers who are fighting for TQ in 8 minutes. Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate, but Ollie was, he wasn't given a lot of space there by Marcus, but arrived at a great rate of knots and got turned round. But there's Mark Reinhard recovering a car. We've got Freddie Parker still leading this one, still running with him. He'll be happy with this. That'll be a good day's work for him. Lewis Parker at the foot of the rostrum, watching his brother circulating round. Predicted time, let's have a look, a 40 in 8:06. So he's heading for a time around 6 seconds quicker than Alessandro Calarese. Nice run coming together right at the end there. Freddie Parker going to bring this one home with 10 seconds left. There we go. Freddie Parker takes that with the only driver to make it onto the 40-lap run as well. Calarese on a 39 lap. There we go, coming down the rostrum. Yeah, come on. Yeah, bit of a fist pump. Tap on the shoulder from Lewis Parker. Yeah, that's a strut there from Freddie. Fist pump. He's happy. He knows what to do. A bit of a conversation going on there between Javier and Marcus. That'll be to do with Ollie's coming together. That'll be a nod of acknowledgement from Marcus. I think he sort of recognises he probably could have given Ollie a little bit more space. Costly for Ollie. That would have given him the round win and at least matched Michael Orlowski on round points. So we're going to see if we can find Alex for just a bit of a chat with him. Seconds to start. Tim Pansters, Alex D'Angelo, Andy Thompson, Tom Adams, Alex Seiter, Tim Janssen, Mark Payne, Marco Pansera, and Michael Laws.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.